Okay, well, welcome everyone to our first year Foundations, Your Queen's Experience Begins Here webinar. I just want to highlight how you can turn on live captions for this. If you'd like to add captions, please select the More icon on the top right with the three dots, select Language and Speech, and then finally show live captions. So before we begin this webinar, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and reflect on the history of the land that Queen's University is situated on. Kingston is located on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee Indigenous peoples. My intention in acknowledging this traditional territory is to recognize the significance for the Indigenous peoples who lived and continue to live upon it, and whose practices and spiritualities are tied to the land and continue to develop in relationship to the territory and its other inhabitants today. As a settler and uninvited guest, I try to make an effort in my daily life to educate myself about Indigenous culture and practices by attending Indigenous-led events on campus and exploring Indigenous spaces. I encourage all of you to do the same. I recently had the opportunity to take a walking tour of Indigenous spaces and art on Queen's campus, reflect on what they can tell me about Indigenous experiences. A particular space that I enjoyed exploring was the Ndayan Residence Courtyard. It features a large gathering space with a lot of Indigenous symbolism. In the center of the space, there's a large turtle shell. It really made me think about Turtle Island, which is the Indigenous name for the continent of North America. This space really reminded me of Indigenous teachings centered on interconnection with the land, and it really encouraged me to reflect. It's very important to reflect on Indigenous histories and teachings and to contribute to a more inclusive community that works towards reconciliation. If any of this is new to you, or if you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to explore the resources offered by the Office of Indigenous Initiatives and the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center, both online and on campus here at Queen's. Thank you everyone for taking this moment to reflect with me. So now to introduce myself, my name is Ella. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the first year foundation student lead with the Student Experience Office this summer. I'm in my fourth year at Queen's, and I'm majoring in math and minoring in computer science, and I'm your host for this webinar today, and I will also be hosting many other of our webinars this summer, and I'm very excited to tell you all about them later this evening. But first and foremost, I want to congratulate all of you on becoming Queen's students. We know you must have a lot of questions about what's next and how to prepare yourself for your transition to Queen's. Our goals for this webinar are to introduce you to us, the Student Experience Office, and to get you familiar with our First Year Foundations program. We'll be outlining all of the free programming that's available to you this summer, and we also want to introduce you to the student staff team who will be facilitating all of the events we're going to talk about. By the end of this webinar, we hope you feel ready to start your Queen's experience this summer. This webinar is being recorded and it will be available on the Student Experience Office website within the next few business days. If you have any questions or concerns during this webinar, feel free to use the Q&A feature on your screen. We'll get to them throughout the presentation. With that, I'm going to pass it off to our first speaker, Isel.
Thank you, Ella. And hi, everyone. My name is Isel. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Marketing and Communications Student Lead at the SEO. I'm in my fourth year of economics. My job is to oversee the support and promotion of various programs in the SEO. My role impacts all areas of the student experience through the creation and management of social media content. The Student Experience Office, or SEO for short, is a department under Student Affairs. We are a team made up of both full-time professional staff and student staff like me. Our team is here to support you in your transition to university, and starting this summer, continuing into the fall, and then for the rest of your Queen's experience, we offer programs and services that will help you develop diverse skills, encourage student engagement, and extracurricular engagement. Our office is located in the John Dutch University Center, or JDUC for short, located right in the center of campus. We run many of our in-person events during the fall and winter semester in our programming space. We hope you come by to check us out. So, the program our office runs the most, that is very important for you to know right now, is our First Year Foundations program. Starting this summer, we are here to offer you support to help you navigate your transition into Queen's. Many programs continuing through the year. Our programs give you a space to build friendship, learn about the resources available to you, and to find a path to success. We encourage you all to take part in as many programs under the First Year Foundations as you can, so you can be prepared for your transition to Queen's in the fall. And for any parents or supporters watching, we have aspects of our programming specifically geared towards you as well. Over the next few slides, we'll provide more details about the programs and resources that are part of our First Year Foundations program and how you can get started. So we'll talk a little bit about TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can stay connected with us this summer through these platforms, and we're active in all of these, but each platform offers something a bit different. So I'll just briefly talk about them. On our Instagram, we share upcoming events, helpful reminders, and updates from the SEO programs. It's a great place to get to know our team, see what's happening on campus, and engage with your peers through stories and giveaways. TikTok is where we get a bit more creative. We post fun content, sneak peeks of student life at Queens. It's fun, casual, and student led. So if you love a good behind the scene moment or day to day life campus, you're in the right spot. For Facebook users, we post important dates, upcoming programs, updates, and yeah, so you can stay informed. For parents and supporters here tonight, we encourage you to follow us on social media so you can support your students from wherever you are. And no matter what platform you choose, please give us a follow at queensu.seo. Now, let's talk about next steps. This is where you're going to find everything you'll need between now and September. We hope you have already interacted with the Next Steps website, but if not, you can head over to queensu.ca-next steps. This is where you'll find all the information you need now that you've accepted your offer. Starting on the front page, you'll be able to view the important dates, deadlines, and links for each of the summer months. These steps are categorized by month, so you can easily use them as a resource to confirm you are on the right track as the school year approaches. Some examples of steps you may see here are the date to pay your tuition, information on course registration, and resident self-selection, to name a few. Using the questions tabs, you'll be able to read through all the list of common questions, the campus resources that can best support them, and the contact information to get in touch with these resources. For our parents and supporters watching too, there's also a tab for information you need throughout the summer. In addition to this, you'll be receiving a weekly email from us every Monday at 4 p.m., highlighting the important upcoming deadlines and events. So please make sure you have activated your Queen's email and checked it often throughout the summer. You should have received your first email yesterday. And now I will pass it on to Nada, our OCC student lead, to discuss off-campus community.
Thanks, Azelle. Hi, everyone. My name is Nada. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the off-campus community student lead here with the Student Experience Office. I'm in my third year of applied economics with a minor in employment relations. My job is to recruit, hire, and train off-campus leaders, as well as lead events and initiatives that promote community building, student engagement, and a sense of belonging among students living off-campus. So this includes a first-year off-campus student welcome event, weekly drop-in hours, monthly social events, newsletter, and many more. So in the OCC, you can attend various events, both in person and virtually, to connect with your peers, starting with Living Off-Campus webinar with your off-campus living advisor on July 9th, and also our Icebreaker Challenge virtual social on July 22nd, and then going into our next two virtual summer socials in August. Students in the off-campus community will have the opportunity to get support from upper year students known as off-campus leaders, or OCLs for short. They will provide opportunities for you to connect with your peers during all of our events. There'll also be someone who you can feel comfortable reaching out to if you ever have any questions or need some guidance. As part of the first year OCC, you can join our summer programming, welcome event in September, as well as year-long events. You'll have exclusive access to our monthly newsletter to stay up to date on events happening around campus, find housemates, and so many more cool things. We also post announcements and events on our Instagram, so make sure to follow us at QueensUOCC. The first year OCC is a crucial part of any off-campus student's first year transition. And the best part is we don't go anywhere after our welcome event in September. The OCC is a year-long support system for you to make sure you stay connected to the Queens community throughout the whole year. And now I'll pass it over to Naomi to talk about the FYF 100 on-Q course.
Thank you, Nada. Hi, everyone. My name is Naomi. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the University Orientation Student Lead with the Student Experience Office. Another great part of our first year foundations programming is the FYF 100 OnQ course, which is a wonderful resource for you to access over the summer. OnQ is the online learning platform where your FYF 100 course lives. It is also the platform that all Queen's students use in their coursework. The FYF 100 course consists of modules, videos, and links to resources that provide important and useful information on academics, the transition to Queen's, and much more. The course also includes fun pop quizzes for prizes, and also so that you get the chance to provide feedback on your transition experience. FYF 100 as a whole is designed to help you feel a bit more prepared as you enter the fall and also throughout this whole transitional period. The course will launch next Tuesday, June 30th, 2026, and will be available until April 2027, so you will have access to it during your whole entire first year. If you don't see your FYF 100 course on your OnQ homepage sometime next week, please get in touch with the Student Experience Office by email and include your net ID and faculty or school. Now I'll pass it over to our FYF student lead, Ella, to talk a bit more about webinars and socials.
Thank you, Naomi, for that amazing introduction to FYF 100. So my role at the SEO is First Year Foundation Student Lead, which means I oversee a lot of our interactive online content. This summer, I've got two main initiatives. Number one, planning and delivering summer webinars, just like this one. And number two, running virtual socials for incoming first years. So what exactly is our summer webinar series? Webinars are basically live video sessions where speakers from Queen's will walk you through everything you need to know before September. Things like how to select your residence room, how to register for your courses, how to find your way around campus. Some webinars are targeted to specific student groups. For example, those who are the first in their family to go to university. Make sure to check out our webinar schedule on the SEO website to see which topics are going to be relevant to you and register for the webinars in advance. Webinars started in June and they're going to continue throughout July and August. Students, parents, and supporters are all welcome to join these webinars. Make sure you have the schedule somewhere handy, and I'm super excited for all of you to join. Now I'll shift over to talking about my second initiative, which is our virtual socials. We have 3 socials throughout the summer, each with a different theme. The first social will be our game night, the second will be Queen's Trivia, and the third will be a virtual campus scavenger hunt. At the beginning of each social, we'll do some fast friending so that everyone can get to know each other, and at the end of the social, there will be an opportunity to ask me and some of the other student leads any questions you may have about Queen's. Our virtual socials are a great way to meet your future classmates and make some new friends before you even get to campus. So be sure to keep an eye out for all of our webinars and socials, as this is a great way to connect with fellow students so you feel more prepared for your first day. And now I'm going to pass it over to our mentorship program student lead, Megan, to share more about the guidance and support partnerships that Queen's has to offer you.
Thanks, Ella. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going into my 4th year of a double major in politics and gender studies. And I'm working as the mentorship program student lead with the SEO this year. One main aspect of my job is to assist in the planning, coordination, and delivery of the Q Success mentorship program. Q Success is a first-year one-on-one mentorship program where students can self-match with upper-year mentors to receive ongoing support, assisting in their successful transition to university life. Q Success programming is open to all first-year students and can help you develop skills to succeed academically, including time management, note-taking, and study skills, learn to balance the academic and social demands of university life, develop strategies to stay physically and mentally healthy, meet peers and develop a campus community, connect to other campus resources that can play a role in your success, and most importantly, a mentor can be a listening ear as you navigate the challenges and celebrate the successes of your first year at Queen's. Students can self-match with peer mentors at any point following our enrollment opening date of July 6th or throughout the academic year on the SEO website. Students are encouraged to apply prior to the beginning of the fall semester when possible in order to get the most out of the program. Q Success utilizes an online mentorship platform where students can filter through available peer mentors and self-match based on their own needs and interests. If anyone has any questions, I would be happy to answer them during the Q&A period, or you are welcome to visit the Student Experience Office website, navigate to First Year Foundations page, and select Q Success from there. And now I'll pass it to Naomi to talk about our final First Year Foundations program, University Orientation.
Thank you, Megan. As previously mentioned, my name is Naomi, and I am this year's University Orientation Student Lead. I'm in my 4th year studying environmental sciences. My job at the SEO is to plan and organize university orientation events, as well as fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment for incoming students during their transition to university. The first orientation events you will have the opportunity to attend are the 2 university orientation events, which will kick off on Saturday, September 5th, 2026. These are hosted by the Student Experience Office and are free and open to all incoming students with no registration required. You can simply show up. So, university orientation is not program specific, but rather it brings together all 5,200 plus incoming students and provides plenty of opportunities to get to know your classmates and have fun. Welcome Home Night, the first university orientation event, will take place on Saturday, September 5th, and will include all sorts of fun welcome activities. The next morning, we gather for the second university orientation event, the Tricolor Parade and Stadium Welcome. After university orientation, faculty orientations begin. Faculty orientations require registration and are faculty specific. So, nursing students would register for nursing orientation, and commerce students would register for commerce orientation, etc. The specific events involved in faculty orientation vary based on your program. Registration for faculty orientation will open mid to late July. As mentioned, registration is required for faculty orientation and there is an associated cost. For more information on all that orientation has to offer, you can explore the queensu.ca/orientation website. And to learn more about university and faculty orientation, and also to have your faculty-specific orientation questions answered, you can attend our fall orientation webinar on August 18th. And now I'll pass it back to our FYF student lead.
So those are all the programs that First Year Foundations has to offer. We now want to give you the opportunity to ask us any questions you may have about these programs. Please use the Q&A feature on your screen to send in any of your questions, and feel free to use the anonymous feature if that makes you feel more comfortable. I'd also like to mention that we have some Student Experience Office staff on the back end who will be responding to more specific questions in the chat as well. So let's look for our first question. This one is for Azelle. Do I need to check all 3 platforms for updates about the SEO?
So not necessarily. It depends what you're looking for. What I would suggest is to check our Instagram account because that's where everything regarding with a date deadline, for example, the place, location of her socials, or where to check it for important information, or when the SEO will be closed. So yes, when in doubt, check the Instagram. TikTok is more so for fun and to interact with us at a more personal level.
Awesome. Okay, let's look for our next question. This one is for Nada. How do I register for the OCC, and is there any type of registration fee?
So, as an OCC student, you're automatically registered, and all of our events are for free. You don't need to register for anything. I would just recommend following us on Instagram to stay up to date on when events are happening. However, no registration fee, automatically registered.
Awesome. Okay, our next question. This one is for Naomi. What is the difference between faculty orientation and university orientation?
Thanks, Ella. Yeah, I totally get that can be a little bit confusing. So as I mentioned, university orientation consists of the events that are open to the entire incoming first year class. So these events don't require registration and are free. We hope that you just come, show up, hang out, and engage. On the other hand, faculty orientation is something that you can also attend. You will have to register based on your faculty, with more details available on both of these sorts of orientation available on the queensu.ca/orientation website and also at our orientation webinar on August 18th.
Amazing. Thank you, Naomi. Okay, our next one. This is for Megan. When does registration open for Q Success?
Registration opens for Q Success on July 6th and it stays open after that. So we recommend that mentees or incoming first-year students register on July 6th just to get the most out of the experience, but it will stay open for the rest of your first-year experience.
Amazing. Thank you, Megan. Okay, this next one's for me. What is the most important webinar to attend? I would say they're all kind of important, but it really depends on you as a student and what you're looking for, what kind of questions you have. I would definitely encourage checking out the SEO website to see the descriptions for all of them, and then you can make your decision for there. They are all free, so it's definitely a really great resource. Okay, our next one. This one is for Azelle. So are our social media posts just information, or is there a chance to interact as well?
So you do have the chance to interact with us via giveaways, stories. You can send us a DM, but it's mainly informational.
Thank you, Azelle. Okay, this one is for Megan. Is the Q Success Mentorship Program a year-long commitment to your mentor as a mentee, or are you able to get temporary help with course selection this summer and then that's it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You're absolutely not locked into the program for a full year, but we recommend that you stay in the program for as long as you feel comfortable. It really helps to assist with all of your needs, whether that's course registration, selecting residence. But if you feel like your if you feel like your mentor might not be a great fit, or if you feel like you got the most out of the experience already, you're more than welcome to end your formal mentoring relationship.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, this next one is for Nada. What events does the OCC offer?
So the OCC offers two types of events. We have our weekly drop-in sessions, and they're mostly focused on just having a snack, having a quick chat with your OCLs or me or any of your peers. And we also have monthly social events, and those are focused on interacting with each other and just it's more oriented towards events such as trivia or movie nights, just an opportunity to socialize more.
Thanks, Nada. Okay, this next one is for Naomi. When and how do I register for a faculty orientation?
Thank you, Ella. So, to register for faculty orientation, the process will differ based on your faculty. The best way to get up-to-date information is to look at the queensu.ca/orientation website. Additionally, all the support you'll need to navigate that process will also be covered at our fall orientation webinar, which includes plenty of details on faculty orientation and registration. That is occurring, as I mentioned, on August 18th. And like our other webinars, a recording of that will also be available for your use.
Awesome. Okay, Naomi, this next one is for you too. What should I expect at Welcome Home Night?
Oh, I love talking about Welcome Home Night. Welcome Home Night is such a fun event. On Saturday, September 5th, you can expect to come on down to a building on campus where plenty of fun activity stations will be set up for you to engage with. Whether you come on your own or come with a group of people, there's lots of opportunities to make friends through fast friending, drag bingo, a photo booth, athletics and recreation games on the field, plenty of arts and crafts, and ultimately lots of opportunity to win great prizes that you can use on campus and around Kingston. So come on down and explore Welcome Home Night. You can do whatever suits you. We have a whole range of activities. So depending on your interests, you can find something up your alley.
Sorry. Before we do our next question, I'll just mention that any of the recordings for all the webinars, including this one, will be posted on the webinar schedule page on the Student Experience Office website. So now for our next question. This one is for Megan. How does matching work in the Q Success Mentorship Program?
This is an awesome question because Q Success Access has such a great self-matching process. So you as a mentee, you'll go in and you'll build your profile. You'll put a profile picture, your faculty, and a couple things that you're looking to have extra support in, whether that's academics, living off campus, balancing athletics with school. You can add all those things to your profile, as well as mentors that are joining the platform will also add things that they feel like they have specialized, and you are able to go in and self-match with these mentors, as well as the mentors can also self-match with you. So it's really just what's going to fit your needs and help support your transition the best.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, I can see that we're getting a lot of questions about course registration. So I would recommend for anybody who has questions about that to check out our faculty webinars on the Student Experience Office webpage, because they're going to have more specific information that would be relevant to you and what program you are interested in. So let's go to our next question. This one is for Isel. What is the best way to ensure I don't miss any events throughout the summer and the school year?
So the best way for not to miss anything, I'd say to check the Next Steps website. That is a very good website. They have a beautiful calendar that you can always reference with links and important deadlines. Additionally, once again, our Instagram is pretty amazing. I usually post all the events that will be held, accompanying with reels to make it a bit more engaging and interactive. So check those out.
Thank you, Isel. Okay, our next question is for Naomi. Do I have to pay for faculty orientation?
Thank you, Ella. Yes, as I mentioned, faculty orientation does have a fee associated with it. This differs based on faculty, and there's overall going to be a lot more information available on the specifics of registration, fees, faculty orientation available after the registration opens and at our webinar. I know I keep mentioning our webinar, but that really is one of the places to go for those sorts of questions. Additionally, you can explore our website, and if you have any additional questions, email us at fall.orientation@queensu.ca. As I mentioned also previously, university orientation, the welcome home night, and the parade that I mentioned do not have fees associated with them and are not faculty specific. So those events you don't need to register for, and you can just come on down and hang out.
Awesome. Okay, our next question is for Nada. What can I gain from being a part of the OCC?
Yeah, I think you can gain that sense of belonging that residents usually offers. So we do offer events during the summer. We also have a welcome event in September, and I think those are really important community building wise. You get to know a lot of people, and I think that's really important because as an off-campus student, it can often be lonely starting like having all your peers live in residence in your own off campus. So I think just being in the same boat as everyone who lives off campus and just building that sense of community through our virtual events and through our fall events as well, school year events is really important. And yeah, just gain that sense of belonging in the community.
Thanks, Nada. Okay, our next question is for Naomi. I have a disability which makes crowds quite hard for me. Is there any less crowded orientation events?
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate this question. At our welcome home night, we have a variety of stations, as I already mentioned, but one thing I can emphasize in response to this question are some of the more low intensity stations, like our movie night and like arts and crafts. These occur in individual rooms, so foot traffic can be quite low, with the opportunity to be seated in a low intensity, quiet environment with very few other people. There are always orientation options that can be accessible to you and your needs. And that is our aim, is to provide those opportunities for you to engage in whatever way suits you and your needs. So on that note as well, things like the Tricolor Parade Stadium Welcome, we always have bus shuttles going back and forth for people who may not feel comfortable walking the parade, and also are here to support you in any way you need. So on the nights of or the morning of, if you have any concerns, you can always come to us. We'll be wearing really brightly colored shirts, and everyone is there to support you and to help you in any way you need. And that doesn't just start the night of. from now until then, and then for the rest of your first year and onwards in your Queen's experience. That's what we're here to do. So if you have any concerns about the intensity of fall orientation events or how you might be able to enjoy them best based on your needs, please feel free to email us, come visit us, call, communicate in any way that feels appropriate, and we're happy to help.
Thanks, Naomi. This next one is also for you. Where can I access the FYF 100 on-Q course?
That's a great question. Our FYF 100 OnQ course is housed on OnQ, as I mentioned a little bit previously. OnQ is something that you'll all become very familiar with through your coursework. So this is kind of a fun opportunity to get a little bit of a sneak peek at what some of your courses might look like formatted wise online in the fall. So in order to access FYF 100 on OnQ, one way that is pretty simple is to just search in your search engine OnQ Queens and log in as you're prompted with your net ID and password. Additionally, instructions for how to log in will be communicated through a weekly email. And if you're having any trouble at all accessing FYF 100 or when it gets released next week on the Tuesday, if you're not able to access it, please send us an email to Student Experience, including your net ID and faculty or program, and we will help you out.
Thank you, Naomi. Okay, our next one is for Megan. If I apply for the Q Success Mentorship on July 6th, how long will it take to get connected with my mentor in terms of days?
Awesome. As soon as you register to become a mentee and you fully complete your profile, you can get matched with a mentor as early as that day. Like I said earlier, you are reaching out to the mentor. So as soon as you reach out and send a request, it could be as early as that day or within the next couple following days. I would say about a 48-hour timeline on getting matched. But yeah, you can get matched super easily once you complete your profile and you send off the mentoring request to mentors.
Thanks, Megan. Okay, our next one is for Megan again. What if I don't like my mentor? Am I able to match with other ones, or am I kind of locked in once I'm matched?
You are absolutely not locked into a mentoring relationship. Once you have confirmed that you are in a mentoring relationship with a mentor, that is what we call a formal relationship. And if you feel like it's not working out with your mentor, you're more than welcome to end that formal mentoring relationship, and you'll be back onto the platform where you can then go ahead and continue to self-select and match with different mentors on the platform.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of questions come in about course selection. So the course selection is different for each faculty. So I would really encourage everybody to tune into the faculty webinars because there is different information depending on what faculty you are in. So if you would like some more information on that, you can definitely check out the faculty webinars, which are all on our website, Student Experience Office. Our next one is for Izelle. So will information about orientation registration or other things be communicated through email mainly, or how would I find that?
So you will receive it via the newsletter that's issued every Monday at 4 p.m. However, that will also be posted in our Instagram, and we will also be providing live updates during orientation week, which will be very fun.
Thank you, Izelle. Okay, our next one is for Izelle again. Will you be posting student tips or advice during the summer?
So not really. However, we will be posting some tips from the previous mentors, from the Q Success mentors, starting September. And if you have any sort of questions or require some more information, we highly encourage you to attend the webinars because you can hear from us firsthand, students at Queens. So I suggest that.
Thanks, Izelle. Okay, our next one is for Megan. Do I choose my own mentor, or do you just put in your preferences and then you're automatically matched with somebody?
For sure. So our program uses a self-matching tool. So not only are you able to reach out to mentors and request that they are your mentors. Mentors are also able to reach out to you. However, if you feel like a mentor reaches out to you and they might not have the expertise that you're looking for, you're more than welcome to decline that request. But like I said before, our self-selection process is one of our main features of Q Success. So you are able to go in and select a mentor to mentor you.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, our next one, this is for Naomi. Will fall orientation conflict with my classes?
No, fall orientation will not conflict with any of your classes. It will occur entirely outside of the course timetable time, so there will be no conflicts to worry about.
Thank you, Naomi. Okay, our next one is for Megan. Can I have a mentor beyond first year?
So the Q Success program is specific for incoming first year students. However, at the SCO, we also run an upper year peer mentorship program. So if you feel like beyond your first year, you might still need a little bit of extra mentoring, you're more than welcome to sign up for that.
Thank you, Megan. Okay. Our next one is it's for me. If I'm an international student, how can I ensure I make the virtual socials? So we have 3 socials this summer, and they're all happening at very different times during the day. We have one in the morning, one in the evening, and I think one in the afternoon as well. That way, no matter what time zone you're in throughout the world, you should be able to attend at least one, connect with your fellow students, which is super exciting. And yeah, you can register for those on our website, and you can also see some more info for that. Our next one is for Naomi. What time does Welcome Home Night on September 5th end, or what time does it start? So kind of timing on Welcome Home Night.
Yeah, Welcome Home Night runs from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 5th. So those are the overall times for a sense. Additionally, many more communications on the details of timing, location of all of our university orientation events will be communicated through some of the platforms that Azelle has communicated about, such as Instagram, email, and generally speaking on the SEO website. So I encourage you to check those out closer to the time as well.
Thank you, Naomi. Okay, our next one is for Megan. What are the Q Success mentors for?
The Q Success mentors are really just there to help support with your transition to Queens. They can help you develop different academic skills. They can help you to learn how to balance the academic and social demands of university life. They can help you develop strategies to stay physically and mentally well and develop a real campus community. They can also help connect you to other campus resources. Queens has a lot of different resources that are really beneficial to student success. So they're able to sort of point you in any direction that you need and to just help with your overall transition.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, our next one is for Naomi. What can I expect from university orientation events?
Yeah, I think in addition to some of the things I've touched on already through some of our other questions, overall, from university orientation events, you can expect having the opportunity to engage in whatever way feels right to you on your first weekend. It can be a really overwhelming time, it can be a really exciting time, it can be both. Everyone has a different experience, so we encourage you to come however you're feeling and engage in whatever way feels right. That's why we have a variety of activities available to you. In addition to that, you will have the opportunity to learn about a bunch of different campus services who attend Welcome Home Night, get to engage with some upper year students who you can ask questions of, maybe learn some things, maybe get an idea of how you might want to get involved. And then looking more at the Tricolor Parade and Stadium Welcome, university orientation is a really fun time to get the chance to really feel that you've joined the Queen's community, even just in the most concrete way of seeing the entire incoming class sitting in Richardson Stadium with you. And so getting to do some of that school spirit stuff on top of those other things. So in general, it's just a really fun way to come engage in whatever way feels right to you, meet some people, make friends, and enjoy your first weekend at Queen's.
Thank you, Naomi. Okay, our next one is for Megan. How are you in contact with your mentor?
Q Success uses an online mentorship platform called Mentor City. On Mentor City, this is where you actually self-match with your mentors. You can also use the chat feature. There's also a calling feature on there. So that is your main form of contact with your mentors.
Thank you, Megan. Our next one is also for you. How do we register for the mentorship program? What website? When do we do it? Just all details mentorship registration.
Awesome. So our mentorship program opens for registration on July 6th. If you go onto the Student Experience Office website and navigate to First Year Foundations, you should find a little blurb that says something about Q Success, and there will be a registration link from July 6th onwards. Additionally, you can find more information on the SEO Instagram that will have links in their bio to take you to register for our platform.
Thank you, Megan. So for any residence-related questions, please reach out to Residence Life directly, and a member of the Residence Life team will be happy to answer. We're going to put a link in the discussion post part, which you can, if you click on Q&A, you should see it at the top there. They'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about residence. I know there's a lot. Residence is very exciting. Okay, so our next question, I feel like we'll all answer this one. What is your best advice for going into first year? So I'll start. I would definitely say joining clubs. Definitely the best thing I did when I started university is joining clubs, joined Queen's Women in Computing, the math department student council, and that's how I met not only just all my friends, but that's how I kind of met like people who could help guide me through university. Like I learned a lot of tips for studying, for things like that. So it was really helpful for me. And it really showed me how much is really available at Queen's and available in my program. So I'd highly recommend joining clubs. Great way to meet people. We'll go to Azelle next to answer.
My biggest piece of advice would be to go out there, talk to people, don't be too afraid. I know it's scary. You're in a new environment with people you've never met before in a new city, leaving home for the first time maybe. But remember that you're all in the same boat and that you're here to enjoy life and, of course, study. So, yeah, just talk to people and don't be afraid. You'll figure out everything in time.
Thank you, Azelle. Next, we'll go to Nada.
I would recommend really going to your prof's office hours or TA's office hours. I find that they're really helpful and they give that one-on-one tutoring sessions. If you're also looking for an opportunity to network, it's also a great opportunity to get to know your professors. I know that the transition from high school to university, you don't really get that one-on-one relationship with your high school teachers. However, going to the prof's office hours really helps build that connection with them.
Thanks, Nada. Next, we'll go to Naomi.
I think my biggest piece of advice transitioning into university would be to have a flexible approach, be ready to adjust. Trying new things means that some of them might not work, specifically in terms of studying. You might try something new in this new environment that doesn't work for you. So try a bunch of different things and find what really suits you and your study style at Queen's. And part of that also is to use your resources. There are so many services available on campus, like student wellness services and the peer support center, which I know is an inundation when you're transitioning. There's so many different acronyms that get thrown around, but visiting one of them might help you. There's a lot of academic resources and lots to learn about, and the FYF 100 on Q course is a great place to learn about those things. But be gentle with yourself as you try new things and figure out what works for you.
Amazing advice, Naomi. And then last but not least, we'll go to Megan.
I would say my best advice is to just say yes to as many opportunities as you can. There's lots of different opportunities and initiatives happening, especially throughout the first couple weeks on campus, and not only on campus, but in the Kingston community. So if somebody just wants to go out to the dining hall with you, or they want to maybe explore a walk down by the pier, my best advice would be to say yes to as much as you can without overwhelming yourself.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, so I know that this has been a lot of information to digest in this webinar. So here's just a quick kind of summary to-do list for the key takeaway information. First, make sure you're checking your Queen's email. You're going to be receiving weekly email updates from us where you'll learn about upcoming deadlines and events. For more details on what this summer will look like and for kind of a refresher on everything we discussed today, check out the Next Steps website. If you're a student who's living in residence, join our resident self-selection webinar on July 8th. If you're living off campus, be sure to register for the Living Off Campus webinar on July 9th. And if you're interested in learning more about fall orientation, join our fall orientation webinar on August 18th. As well, our first social is on June 29th, and I hope to see all of you there. And finally, review our summer webinars page on the Student Experience Office website to register for all of our upcoming summer webinars. Before you head out, I want to highlight a quick opportunity to be entered into a draw for a $50 Q-Shop gift card. We have a feedback form for our webinar series, and we want to hear from all of you. All incoming students, parents, and supporters are encouraged to provide their feedback. It will only take you approximately 3 minutes to complete, and it can be done using the QR code on our screen. We'll also post it as a link in the Q&A discussion part of the webinar. You may complete one feedback form per student experience webinar per person. And if you're watching the recording, you can also complete this survey. It will close August 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, shortly after the final webinar takes place. A recording of this webinar will be made available within the next few business days on the Student Experience Office webpage. You're also welcome to email us at student.experience@queensu.ca with any additional questions you may have. I want to thank all of our panelists for their time this evening, our SEO staff for supporting us on the back end, and everyone at home for attending. We hope you have a great rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll see you at all of our other events this summer. Take care.